welcome to my channel, Fred Makes Things, and this month's resin review video. This month we're talking almost exclusively the Under the Sea Pixie box from Sophie and Toffee. If you don't know what Sophie and Toffee is, they are a resin company located in Singapore. They send out subscription boxes, couple of different options. I do the Pixie box because you get a lot of like themed items for resin without it being like a specific craft or without it being like a specific project box like some of their other ones. This month's theme was Under the Sea, and in it you got 20 different items, all sea related. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't actually use too much of the embellishments or anything from this project, yeah, it's not a huge, honestly, it's not a huge video or a resin haul in the first place, and that's just because I really wasn't feeling resiny this month. I don't know if that makes sense, but I had other things on my mind, and so I did some of the projects from here, but I wasn't in the right headspace to really like experiment and play around and do things. So I don't know, this might be a little bit of a disappointing video, but let's talk about it anyway. So almost the majority of the projects that I did do come from the Under the Sea, but some of them are from previous boxes as well. But first we'll cover the molds and what they look like from this box, and then we'll talk about the other ones. So let's talk about like the main one, this sea mount mold. We'll get that out of the way first. It's this guy here. I have it in its box still to give it stability, and this was what like the interior piece. I cast this in sand colored resin just to see what it looked like and just kind of see like how I wanted to lay it out. But I wasn't feeling it. I don't even have the sand mount or this part with me. I think it's still downstairs. I'll pop in a photo of it though for you so you can see what it looks like when it's all done. Like, it looks like it's like rocks and coral or something when you really look closely at it. But I honestly was not feeling this mold. I didn't want to just pour like a bucket ton of resin for something that I'm not sure what I want to do with just yet. I feel like that's just a waste of material. So check back for future videos for me to actually see what I make out of this. But this month I just wasn't really, the creativity just wasn't really there for me. So unfortunately I didn't make anything with this, but do check back in the future, or maybe go over to Instagram, and if I do make this, I will make sure to post it. But like I said, the other thing too is that like they just included the mount, but they didn't include like anything like this fun like little swimmer or anything. They did include like a sea lion and an octopus, but I didn't feel like it filled up enough of the space for me to justify making it, if that makes any sense. So it will be made eventually. I don't know when, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it. So yeah, let's just move on to the next one. Kind of a disappointing start, I guess. So we'll do this lovely little seashell, like scallop shell. Has cat hair on it. Like, to give you an idea, like this is basically all that I made this month with a couple of other exceptions. So not a whole lot. Here's my shell. I poured 4 different colors into here. I started with a white, then I did the sand, then I did a blue, and then I did a green, and I kind of just let it do its own thing, and this is what came from it. We have some unmixed mica, because I can never seem to mix all the mica in properly. It turned into like this pale, kind of tealy kind of shade, and I actually really like it. I sanded down the bottom so it's nice and smooth. I got a Dremel for that, so hopefully my finishings are gonna look a little nicer now. Like I thought actually about like including it in here, right? Like have this like, has some like coral in the background, right? So it'd be like coral in the background, and then like have this in here too. It fits. And then have some sort of like a mermaid or something sitting here. Like something like that would be really, really cool, but I don't have all of the pieces for it yet. So it's just kind of hanging out. It has a bit of a sheen to it too, which I really like. So it's just a big piece of like resin right now, but I do have hopes for this in the future. And what I really like too is that because of the way that the mold is designed, you don't have any like ridges on the top here, so it's nice and smooth. So yeah, I thought that turned out pretty good. Next we'll talk about this Sea Creatures mold. I didn't make everything from here, but what I did do with this month is kind of practiced with my color shifting and gradients and pouring, things like that. So I have a few different options or things that I made. I have this starfish. We have, we'll do my favorite one last. We have this lovely turtle that the way that the mica and stuff formed in here, to me looks like kind of like a wave. So turtle, starfish. We've got this really pretty clear, sparkly, glittery stingray. We have this dolphin, same as this, but with a little bit more clear resin poured in. Like I like this dolphin. I'm thinking of turning these guys into like keychains or something. And then finally, the jellyfish. So the top of the jellyfish kind of looks cool, right? And it's kind of like separating mica colors. You can see I poured the blue first, but like look at how pretty this back turned out. So I still need to flatten the edges on this, but like I don't know how I did that, but I think that looks so cool. And you can kind of see like the shape of the jellyfish in it. So like this is by far, I think, my favorite thing that came out of this month's project box. I just think it's so awesome. So that's these guys for you. I'm going to leave the cool side up. Like the back sides of these are all the same because, oh, I had that on the back side. They're all pretty standard pours. Like this one looks cool from the back too. But yeah, so there's these. Next we'll talk these earring molds. Again, I was playing with color and pouring, so we'll do these like fishtail scales first. I kind of did them in like a mermaid kind of tone. I did green on the top, blue in the middle, and purple on the bottom, and then I kind of just let them mix themselves. Oh, I need to clear. So that's how these turned out. Then I did these oval shapes or egg shapes, right, with like the interior buddies. I need to like put these together. I think they would look really pretty as like pendants or wind chimes or something. They seem a little bit too big for earrings. Like they would hang really like especially on my neck, they would hang, yeah, they would hang pretty far down. And then we have these seashells. This was pink and purple that I poured together. These was pink, purple, and a little bit of white. Here's the tops. Here's the underside. I think these turned out really cool too. These though are my favorite. I think they're so pretty. There's a couple of bubbles in these too. I thought I got all the air bubbles out, but upon closer inspection, it looks like I got a couple. I left a couple in there. And then, right, this is like the circle-y part just out of purple so that they would sit. Right, like this. I think it's how they're designed. So, but I think they turned out really cool. Like I said, I played a lot with color this month. And then we have some extras from previous months that we did too. So we had this bunny mold that I said I was going to revisit from last month because I wasn't a huge fan of how it worked out, and this is what happened. I just poured extra resin. We started with some white. I dumped in some purple, some green, and some blue, and this is how this turned out. And I think that looks really neat. And then here's its feet. They're all green. The feet fit in really nicely. So he sits really well. I know you can't see it because he's, right, but he sits really well. He looks really cute. I really like him. I didn't do any stickers or anything to him yet either, but I'm really happy that I have this version too. So now I have two different versions of that bunny. I have like the clear one with the glitter, and now I've got this one. I made another bunny mold, shaker mold out of this with some green and some pink, and then some clear resin on the back. There's some bubbles and stuff in it, but I think the bubbles kind of make it look even cooler. So I'll make a shaker mold out of this too at some point. I have this rock mold too from last year sometime. I don't quite remember which box. So I made like a little gold rock out of it because I thought this might look really cool in here too, right? To kind of sit next to like the, or right, sit as part of like the landscape with like, again, this guy in the background, but I don't know. Like I don't know yet. I don't know what I want to do. So, but I do have this lovely little gold guy. And then my box is empty, but I do have a few other things to show you. So I said I was going to remake this dude. This is from last month's box as well. Or you might see that I've been using the one that I made last month as like a little collector tray in my office, but I made this one. It's all glitter. I mixed like a sand colored glitter and a rose gold glitter together, and I made this. I'm tempted to try to like make the roses or the flowers stand out, but I'm kind of just really liking this on its own. Like I think it's so pretty. I think it's so colorful, and it works so well with the colors that I use in my office that I'm in love with it. So there's that. I have a couple of air bubbles on the bottom, but for the most part it's pretty structurally sound. And yeah, I love it. I think it's just so pretty. And then I also made another bathtub, right? This was from January's box. I said I was going to make a blue one, like a navy darker blue one for my bathroom. And this is how it turned out. It's blue on the bottom, gold, that sandy gold glitter that I have on the top, right? Kind of mixing together, making this really cool bathtub. So I'm going to put this in my bathroom, and I'm going to keep hair ties and stuff in it. I might make a few extras for other things, but I'm so in love with this bathtub. I think it's just so cool. And then finally, the last thing that I made are these little guys. I made bezels, or I attempted to make bezels. I have a fish bezel as well, but it's not working out very well, so I'm letting it cure in my windowsill. I didn't have it for this video. But yeah, so I have like a cat from last year. Right, it's a pinky cat. I don't know if I like it or not, but I think it turned out pretty decent. Then I have this dinosaur. So keep in mind, these are my first attempts at bezels, so they're not going to be perfect. And I'm a shaky person, so sometimes pouring something into things this small is difficult. Like I had an air bubble here. I fixed it, but so I have this like green and gray dinosaur. I have this whale. Oh no. I put like a clear coat of nail polish on and it looks like it didn't dry before I flipped it over. Anyway, like look how pretty that swirl is in this. I'm gonna have to clean it up and do it again, like the clear coat, just to make it really nice and shiny. But this one's my favorite. The back is ho-hum, but like that front and that like swirly wave looks just, I think looks so cool. Actually it's a toss-up. I love this one too. So this came in this month's box and this came in this month's box. Here's the whale tail. It started off blue and white, but somehow during the curing process it turned a bit green, and I'm not mad at it. I like it. I did like these little the diamonds, or the half what were they called? Half bead embellishments in a random color. I got them in like this greeny blue color, so I stuck those to the bottom, and it looks really pretty in like the real light. Like I love the swirlingness of that tail. I think it's just so cool. So I have a second one of these I'm going to try making again. Try to do better at it. Here's the back without the bevels. The front and the back look very similar without the like the little half beads. So yeah, this one when I clean it up is actually going to go on a toiletry bag that I made a friend of mine, and I'm going to send that off to Canada for him. I think it's going to be pretty cool. You'll see the toiletry bag at the end of the month, actually, in another video that I'm doing for sewing. But yeah, so that's them. So that's these projects, this month's projects. It's not a lot of resin this month, but like I said, I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it. And I think that's okay. I think we're allowed to have like off times. I think that I concentrated big time on these bezels. Like I spent like 3 days. I spent a lot of time thinking on them, working out like what I wanted to do with them and things like that, like the colors that I wanted to use and the styling. And so I think that by spending so much like brain power on that, some of the other stuff kind of got lost. Also, like I like the looks of these molds for this month, but I didn't know what I wanted to do with them. So that was also kind of like an issue that I had. I also, like, I don't know if you can tell, but I also stayed a little bit further away from all the glitter. Not everything has glitter, right? It's only like these for things that have glitter. So for me, right, that's kind of a neat, or a change. Oh, and these two things have glitter too. But yeah, so that's this month's project, or this month's resin review. What did you think? Do you like some of the things that I came up with? Do you like the colors, the styling? How do you feel about my blue bathtub? Do you have ideas for some of these like pendanty things? I'm almost tempted to see if they'll fit on my Ferris wheel that I made for Christmas. And then that would be really cool. Hey, like having like a, instead of having just circles, have these things kind of rotating around. I just had that thought. So maybe that's where they'll end up. I'm not sure. Or keychains or pendants, or it could be earrings if I got myself some things to make earrings with. And like I said, I love how this guy turned out. I just think he's the coolest thing. But yeah, so what do you think? Do you like them? Do you not? Do you think I should do something different? Do you have ideas on what I should do with this dude here, this seascape thing? Sea mount thing? Any and all ideas are greatly appreciated in the comment section below. So yeah, we'll do the outro kinds of stuff. If you like this video, think about liking it, letting me know that these resin reviews are enjoyable to watch. Like, I enjoy making the resin, and I enjoy talking about like what worked and what didn't, and how I'm feeling about it. So let me know if you like them too. Subscribe if you want to see more resin content. I do a Sophie and Toffee Pixie box unboxing every month. This month too, this coming month, I have a special unboxing too from a Pixie box that are from Sophie and Toffee that I'm going to do. If the boxes come together, then I will do the unboxings together. If they come separately, then they will be separate. But I'm very excited for the other box that I bought from them for this month. There's also a Cat Lady box coming up. There's some other kinds of review videos and things like that. And next week is the introduction to our next long-term Friday project. So all that stuff's pretty cool. And then Wednesdays are sewing content. What's this Wednesday? This Wednesday is talking about things you can make with a layer cake. Yeah. And Friday's the final time-lapse video for our Flower Deer Paint by Number project. So if any of those things interest you, think about subscribing. And with all of that being said, I'm going to say thank you so much for watching this video, for making it to the end. And yeah, I will talk with you again soon. Bye!